Cimoooooooo. What's going on, guys? It's Cimo. I am super excited to bring you guys today's video. I'm going to be bringing you exclusive closed beta access to the future of Yu-Gi-Oh! YGO Omega. Now, unfortunately, this isn't any sort of first-party Konami software, although that's the dream, but this is going to be a revolution in Yu-Gi-Oh! Simulator software technology. This has been something that's been in the works for a while, and I've been talking with the guys over at YGO Omega about this project. This is really cool. So I'm going to be showing you guys what this is. It's basically like, I don't want to call it YGO Pro because it's like far and away better than it in almost every conceivable way, but it is just incredible. And so I just want to show you guys some of the features. So I'm not even going to make you guys wait any longer. Let's just go ahead and get into it. So this first page may look a little bit familiar for anyone familiar with YGO Pro, but any way that we can play Yu-Gi-Oh! Online and any better way possible, this is going to be incredible. So we're going to start with the deck editing. This just already looks really nice. You know, you have all your decks here. These were preloaded into the software, so I didn't make all these myself. I just picked one just for the purposes of the closed beta here. And again, it is a beta, so keep in mind, not everything's going to be perfect, but with the way things are like polished up and looking, it's already incredible because they're already talking about having mobile support for this game so you could play on your phone. There's just so many big things they have in store for this. It is incredible. So let's just go ahead and quickly open up the Salamangreat list. Yeah, obviously Cimo is going to be playing Salamangreat. Surprise there. Let's go ahead and see what we get here. So this is basically what the deck editor looks like. Pretty clean cut, I have to say. I actually need to go ahead and organize this so that it's actually sorted properly, but I like that little animation there. It's always cool to kind of look at that instead of it just being rather static and all the cards going to where they should. One of the cool things here is that you can actually change your ban list. So if you want to play OCG format, it will, like here, it changes Salamangreat Circle from 1 to 2. Man, they have 2 Circle. That's neat. But I think it's a cool feature to have that if you want to play either TCG or OCG, just so you don't have to go in like Wikipedia or something and look up what their actual ban list is. It's already built in and integrated. Another cool thing is that you can search the name of a card. So if I put like, you know, Salamangreat, it will give me all the Salamangreat cards, but you can also put like, you know, draw 2 cards up here and it'll give you every card that's going to have draw 2 cards. To put a card into your deck, you just simply have to tap it twice and it'll add it. And then otherwise you can double tap it again to remove it. I'm used to Dueling Book where you have to right click, but it makes sense for the double tapping if they're going to want this to be on mobile because mobile doesn't have a right click, right? You just have your finger. So, but this is just a pretty standard Salamangreat list. It's not optimized for any particular format or anything like that. This was just something to work with. And I'm going to show this off just a little bit as we go into a sample duel that I'm going to show you a little bit later on as well. It's fully customizable though, just like how YGO Pro is typically, so you can change the color schemes and the themes and different things like that as well. But let's just go ahead and get out of here. I don't need to save because I didn't really do anything. And let's go into the actual gameplay because I think that's what you guys are more interested in seeing. So we're going to go ahead and get onto the server here. Now, this is really cool. So one of the things I'm super excited about, and this is really good for you guys, is that there's going to be tournament support where you can actually enter a tournament and it locks your deck. So that way you don't have to worry if you're entering some sort of tournament, whether or not your opponent's going to be using the deck that they said that they're using. And it's going to have up to 512 player tournaments available. And if that's the case, like, you guys can bet that we're going to be doing some tournaments because that is going to be a blast. Right now, it's just not really feasible to do that consistently because there isn't really a way to manage it that well. But if this software can do it, I am super elated to see that. But just like any other game, you're going to have your regular singular match and then you have the ranked mode as well. I'm going to go ahead and host a game here. You have all the same settings similar to how you would in like YGO Pro, which is pretty cool. You've got different card pools, which is nice. Just a lot of customization, which I think is just a really good thing. Sometimes less is more, but I mean, for people who are really looking to have a very specific type of Yu-Gi-Oh experience, I think this is pretty cool. So I'm just going to go ahead and dive right in here. We're just going to go ahead and throw up against a bot because it's just easy to go ahead and do that just because we're going to be taking our time walking ourselves through some different things. So let's go ahead and populate a bot here. There he is. You can actually change your deck right here as well and go straight into the deck editor. So you don't have to go out back into the main menu to get to the deck editor. That's pretty cool. So you just hit ready and then it's going to start the game. So guys, here we go. This is YGO Omega. Oh wow, we won a rock, paper, scissors. Damn, why can't I do that against Gage in the progression series? Is it really that easy or is he just a master? So we'll go first. We'll see what happens. And once this loads up, you're going to get to see your very first game of YGO Omega. So here it is. This is pretty cool. It is definitely a change, I would say, from like YGO Pro. It's definitely different than Dueling Book, that's for sure. And there's a reason I'm also talking about Dueling Book a lot that we'll get to in a moment. But let's go ahead and talk about this for a minute. So again, there's so much customization here. So this is the format you're currently seeing is how I'm looking at the field, but they actually have 4 different options. So you can toggle right up here in the corner. And so right here, I did a more of a top-down view. This might be what you're used to if you play Dueling Book, or maybe if you play like the older GBA games, you might be used to this top-down perspective, and that's totally fine. They also have another one. I'm not sure what this other one did. It kind of just changes the background. So maybe it's like a 3-dimensional background versus a 2-dimensional background, which is neat, I suppose. This is kind of similar to the one we started on, but it's like full screen. But I kind of like having this off to the side because if you hover over a card, it should just show you the card in the corner here. And it's cool that it just changes every time you hover over it. Very similar to like Dueling Book does this. But look at how high quality the card is. I mean, you can see and pretty much read everything. What's also neat is that if we go into the settings, you can also make the font size of the text larger. So I'm just going to put it up to 40 just to demonstrate this for you guys. Look how much bigger the card text becomes here. And then it just becomes a scroll wheel that you can go down. So you don't have to like be squinting your eyes to kind of read the cards. So the fact that they even thought about something like that, I think is just so next level. I'm just going to go ahead and put this back here. You guys can see the settings. There's a lot of them. I kind of tried to keep the settings as minimal as possible and kind of true to what it would be like when you first download the game. Obviously, there's going to be some things that are going to be different, but let's just go ahead and get back here. So let's go ahead and do some gameplay. This is a pretty decent opening hand, and let's just go ahead and fire things off. So we're going to start with this copy of Lady Debug, activate that effect. I don't want to chain anything, and we're going to get a copy of Gazelle straight out of our deck. Now let's go ahead and go into our extra deck. We're going to link off that copy of Debug for a Balink, so we can use that effect. You can see those graphics there, which is kind of cool. And we're going to go ahead and grab this copy of Salamangreat Sanctuary. So I got Sanctuary out of the deck. I feel pretty confident to fire off this copy of Pot of Desires. Debug didn't get ashed, which is nice. Did you see how fast those 10 cards banished off of Pot of Desires? It's just being able to accelerate a lot of these things that we're used to in Yu-Gi-Oh! Being very time-consuming. I just think it's very heads up that they've done a lot of things to be able to ensure that that is pretty easy. Okay, so that's a pretty good couple of cards we got there. So let's fire off this Signet Mining. We can pitch this copy of Falco. Don't want to chain Ash to that, obviously. Let's just grab a copy of Spinny. I think that's fine. And then we will go ahead and since we got our Falco into the graveyard, we can bring this copy of Gazelle to our field. You can see there, it brings up if you want to do an attack or defense. We can now activate the effect of Gazelle. Don't want to chain anything. Oh, it looks like I got rid of all of my copies of Jack Jaguar. That's unfortunate, but that's okay. We can send Foxy here. We can go ahead and activate this copy of Sanctuary, as a matter of fact. We can use the effect of Foxy in Graveyard. Again, look at how seamless this whole interface is. It's a lot more fluid than YGO Pro, and, you know, definitely a lot more fluid than, say, Dueling Book, just by comparison. We're going to pitch this copy of Spinny out of our hand so we can get this Foxy back onto our field here. Give us some link material. I do not want to destroy a spell or trap. Now we'll go ahead and link summon this copy of Sunlight Wolf here, which is good. You can see the link summoning animation. Each of these summoning types has its own animation. We're only going to be showing off the link one here, I think, for the purposes of this, which is perfectly fine. Let's just go ahead and bring back our copy of Spinny. We're not doing the most optimal moves here by any means, but that's okay. Spinny is going to trigger the effect of Sunlight Wolf. We're going to grab the Gazelle and add it back into our hand here. And then I think we're just going to go ahead and link this copy of Spinny off. We're going to go ahead and get into a Balinks here. Gives us a little bit more protection, which is perfectly fine. And then we can just go ahead and set a card, I believe. And we should be good to go. We've got the Ash in hand. I mean, we've pretty much got everything set that we can pretty much OTK on the next turn. So let's just go ahead and pass it over to our opponent. You can see the phases are up here. The middle is going to be the phase that it always is. Oh, it looks like we're playing against Salamangreat of our own here. So Spinny is going to be fine. It looks like he's going to use the effect of Spinny to go into Spinny. He's going to attack into our Foxy. Honestly, I'm okay with that. He can destroy our Foxy. We can actually avoid it, though. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Let's banish the Balinks. Looks like we're going to get a card in the back row here. Oh, 2 cards in the back row. I wish I had a Rage. That would have been very nice. But we did get another copy of Mining, which is pretty cool. I think we should be pretty clear to OTK at this point. I would like to be able to OTK while having the protection of Salamangreat Roar up. So unfortunately, I don't know if I'm going to have that exact luxury, but we will go ahead and see. So what I want to do is first is let's go ahead, check our graveyard really quick. Yeah, let's go ahead and activate this copy of Will of the Salamangreat. Looks like we're going to, looks like I was trying to use something in response, but that's going to be fine. Now we can activate this copy of Will to get our Falco out of the graveyard. So let's do that. Let's go ahead and normal summon this copy of Gazelle. Obviously, I can do some other ways to, be tricky, but I'm not trying to be like super complicated here. So we're going to use the effect of Gazelle. Let's just dump another Spinny into the graveyard. So now let's go ahead and link into Nightmare Phoenix here. We need to give ourselves an arrow if we want to make a update jammer. So we can make Phoenix. We're going to activate that trigger effect. Let's go ahead and see if there's anything else we want to do. I don't think so. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this copy of Mining, and we will target this back row right here. I can actually chain with the effect of Sunlight Wolf since I summon, so I can actually chain block, which is cool. And so we're going to use the effect of that. We will get back, I don't think it matters too much. We'll just get back the Foxy, it's fine. And let's see what we popped. It looks like it was a copy of Imperm. Sure, I will take my draw. So now we can go ahead, since we have an arrow, we can use these two Cyberse monsters here to make our copy of Update Jammer to the right. And now we can go ahead and use both our Phoenix as well as our Update Jammer to make Access Code Talker. So he comes down under the protection of Salamangreat Roar, of course. We're going to go ahead and use that effect as well as Update Jammer. We're going to make a little bit of a chain link here. We're going to pick one of these just to give our Access Code Talker 4,300. Not going to use anything else. Now our Access Code Talker can attack twice. We're going to use that effect, and we are just going to dismantle our opponent's back row. Don't have any other card that I want to use. We're just going to go ahead and destroy that other back row, which is another copy of Impermanence. Let's just go ahead and get rid of the Phoenix now, and we will get rid of the Spinny in addition to that. This will fiend any Gazelle that he might have. Doesn't look like he has it. We can just go straight into battle phase, and this should be the end of the game here. Gonna go for 1843. Uh-oh, looks like I accidentally used the effect of my... Well, it looks like I accidentally used the effect of my own Sanctuary, but we basically would have won the game there, so it's perfectly fine. I could keep going, but I think you guys get the idea. So one of the other things that I really wanted to demonstrate, I'm just gonna go ahead and get out of here, is one of the really cool features that I'm very, very excited about that they've implemented, and that is manual mode. So if you go over here into the duel rules and go all the way to the bottom, you will see manual, and this is basically replicating the experience that we might be used to on, say, something like Dueling Book, or maybe even like a real life experience on top of that, because now that you have the ability to move the cards around as you would, like if you were playing in real life, this is great because, again, it replicates that real life experience. If you want to hold a tournament and don't want people to be forced to play in an automated simulator sort of environment, now you no longer have to. You can, for instance, just take something like, let's say, Salamangreat Spinny. We're going to put it and normal summon it out to our field. Then we can go ahead and move it to the graveyard so that way we can link it off. And essentially, it's just exactly like what we would be doing if we were playing Dueling Book or any sort of other, real life experience. You're just having to move the cards as is. There's a chat feature down here on the left. So if you need to say something like, affects Spinny, if that's what you're going to do, that's all there is to it. It's literally exactly like Dueling Book in that sense, but it's a little bit more self-contained, and there are some elements of this that are automated to make it a little bit more of an enjoyable experience, where Dueling Book kind of lacks some of those and might make it better for tournament play. So ultimately, when I look at the future for Yu-Gi-Oh! And I see that, the competitors like Magic Arena or, Pokemon has an online simulator as well. But when you're looking at online simulators in general, I know the future is automated because that just makes it so much easier to do so many different things. And I definitely think YGO Omega is going in the right direction. But this is an incredible opportunity for all of us to be able to give the YGO Omega team as much feedback as humanly possible. I know this is currently a closed beta, and there's definitely some kinks that need to be worked out. But when this goes to open beta, this is your guys' opportunity. Konami's not giving us anything close to what this could possibly be. be, and having the ear of the devs that we can funnel all of our feedback directly to them to have direct change in affecting what we want the future of Yu-Gi-Oh to look like. I think this is incredible, and this is our opportunity to have this Yu-Gi-Oh simulator that we truly want. I want you guys to absolutely destroy the comment section of this video with as much feedback as humanly possible so that we can mold and sculpt YGO Omega into the Yu-Gi-Oh simulator we've always wanted. Konami's not giving it to us anytime soon, and with the ear of the devs, we can build something truly remarkable and can last for decades. I mean, this is the future of Yu-Gi-Oh! It's going to go digital. Magic Arena's already there. Other games are already there. Yu-Gi-Oh's next, and so why wait when we can have a direct impact on how our future is going to turn out? So guys, be sure to go down in the comments and leave as much feedback as possible, just based off what you've seen in this video. If you've had access to the beta, if you're watching this in the future and it's open, that's even better, because then you guys can experience it for yourself and really be able to give as much critical feedback as possible. I think that would be wonderful. So guys, that's going to do it for this video. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think and if you are excited for the official release of YGO Omega. Be sure to let me know. I can't wait to read all those comments. Guys, thank you so much for watching the video. Be sure to like the video as always, subscribe to the channel for more amazing Yu-Gi-Oh content. And if you found this video informative, consider supporting me on Patreon or becoming a YouTube channel member. Just by showing your support in any way that you can, you're investing in my ability to continue bringing you amazing Yu-Gi-Oh content. So thanks so much again, and we'll see you next time.